Do you feel like you're stuck or drifting? We learned it doesn't have to be that way. We learned we can all live a better story.
Working the night shift as a temp in a high-rise cubicle, I knew something had to change. I was providing for my wife and our 5 children, but wanted a life that was more than just surviving. Watching the sailboats on the Hudson River during my dinner breaks, I wondered what it would be like to leave the hustle of the city and spend a year on a sailboat somewhere beautiful as a family. I knew I wanted to sail for a year as a family. At this point, we had a couple of sailing classes under our belts, and we knew we got seasick, we knew we had a lot to learn, and we joined a yacht club.
Please take whatever picture you have in your mind of what that means, a yacht club, and replace it with this. Thank you.
We hauled our family to the marina almost every week to spend a couple of hours tacking up and down the Long Island Sound for 3 seasons. Everyone took a turn at the tiller, but the best part was that we had no cell service for 2 to 3 hours while we were on the water. We looked into each other's eyes and we sang a lot of songs that involved a lot of stomping.
It was really fun, but we knew we had to level up if we were ever going to live aboard a sailboat. We'd have to sail a bigger boat with engines and electronics. So we scraped together the money and took the next 2 classes crammed into 1 week in the Caribbean. And, it turns out they offer some pretty hot deals if you are willing to go during hurricane season. Pro tip. So we both certified to sail boats up to 50 feet in length.
A few weeks later, we're back from our class in the Caribbean. We're sitting around the breakfast table, and our oldest daughter, Karina, says to us, "You talk about living on a sailboat a lot, but do you really have the guts to do it?" And all of a sudden, 5 pairs of eyes fix on me. Now, this one stung because we were making a lot of progress. But one thing was clear. These kids, they were watching us, and they were holding our feet to the coals. Did we have the guts to do it? Would I really quit my job? How could we afford it? What if we took this leap and fell on our faces in front of everyone?
Even though we had certified to charter a boat for a few days, we weren't sure we had what it takes to live aboard for a year. We didn't know anything about diesel engines and electronics. We're not doctors in case of illness or injury. And we were concerned and worried about our friends, our community, our kids' school.
So we knew all the things that could go wrong. We'd done our homework. There was plenty to worry about, and we did worry a lot until we came up with something better. We learned how to turn worry into wonder.
Worry is when we use our imagination to consider everything that could possibly go wrong. We all know what that is, probably very good at it. And if you're good at worry, you'll be good at wonder. Because wonder is when we take that same power and harness it to consider what could go right. What could go right? That became a powerful pivot question for us.
It's responsible to consider worst case scenarios and account for the problems that can arise and the things that can go wrong. But it's intellectually honest to also consider the other side of the equation, what could go right. And the more we asked what could go right and discovered the likely answers, we realized we in fact did have the guts to do this. In fact, we couldn't miss it. The opportunity cost was too high. So I did quit my job. We left our home behind and we moved aboard a fixer-upper sailboat in St. Martin.
And that's when we realized that we were in way over our heads. I'd been scared of deep water for over 30 years, and I was already stretching every dollar to pay rent and buy groceries for 7. But we turned our excuses into reasons. As an English teacher, first in public school and now homeschool,
And as an Emmy Award-winning writer,
we understand the power of story to shape our lives.
in our book 7 at Sea, people find the courage to live deliberately doing what matters most to them, regardless of their circumstances. That's what we talk about, and that's what we call living a better story.